Good morning. Well, hey, on the commute. I'm actually on the M50. It's now 7:05. I had to get some fuel. Bit of a mad dash coming out of the house now. I made me sandwiches last night. That helped, of course. Been paid since 5 AM, so that was nice. Still getting paged. I don't care. It'll get fixed when I get into the office anyway. So obviously setting off earlier reaps rewards. I'm at work at this time anyway, you know, so it's just getting out of the house on time, that's the thing. And just it can be hard sometimes. So yeah, so what is it, it said 21 minutes total travel time, which I'm happy with. Google Maps was teasing me with an 18-minute commute, the urban route. I'm sure it's probably doable, but I have done it once. Was it 19 minutes, 18 minutes? Maybe if you've seen you've heard the episode. Unicorn Commute, I think it's called. But yeah, I do sound quite frenetic now, I think. And it's recorded as it happens. But anyway, I didn't think that's going to happen today. I know the best. No, it's wrong, isn't it? Google Maps is wrong. Let's not be around the bush here. So I don't believe it was 18 minutes going that way. There would have been stops at traffic lights. They're a little bit unpredictable in some ways. So yeah, I didn't go that way. So I'm on the M50. Not as usual, not doing anything fancy. Staying on the inside lane, tootling along. There's already a little bit of a slowdown. I'm not up to speed limit or anything, but I'm still making good progress. So just looking at the sky, looks lovely. This time of year, well, it was dark when I set off. The sun is rising though. It's October. I can't remember what day in October. I could probably work it out, but beginning of October anyway, and it's a Tuesday. Yeah, the sky, you can see the clouds now, so the sun's sort of rising. An extra layer of clothing on today. Alexa was telling me it's going to get down to 7 degrees centigrade today. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, somewhere between 32 and 40 maybe. I don't know. But it's going to be quite chilly. I'm not going to be outside much, but I had to fill the car up. I was thankful for an extra layer of clothing to stop me getting a chill. And my hand stinks of diesel now, which is another good reason to move to electric cars, I think. Putting in a toxic chemical, and quite a lot of it actually. I think I put 60 odd litres in the tank today. It was showing as empty, let's put it that way. Yeah, I think it's a 70 litre tank, so there's probably 5 litres left. So I put about 65 litres, and it cost me a shade under €90. So you know, fuel is a lot more expensive here than say in the US and other countries. And it's because of all the customs excise and VAT and all the other rubbish they put on top of it. Slowing down considerably now, just coming up to the turning for Dundrum. So yeah, going the usual route. I'm gonna have some coffee as well. So I was a bit cheeky today. I filled up me, I don't know what it is, my plastic container I put water in. What do you call that? Sports container thingy. With a bit of cheeky Barocca now, not just water. So, and I've got over a litre of water as well in addition to that for today, to make sure I stay hydrated. Well, Barocca I find is good for a bit of pep in the old step now. Doesn't have the full range of vitamins that I would like, but when you have a hectic lifestyle, it's just a little bit of a boost, you know. And it's not cheap now. I wouldn't have it every day. It is multivitamins essentially, with a few other little choice ingredients. I think have come from the Amazon, but anyway. So I'm just turning off now. It says 13 minutes from here. It's incredible that I leave 30 minutes earlier, and the journey time is like a fifth of what it is. So in that it shows you how rapidly the traffic builds up in that 30 minutes. It's quite incredible. And there's a lot of vehicles around now, but it obviously must reach like a saturation point, shall we say, where it goes crazy. So, but I have been getting in later because it's just leaving the house later. Not much later, bear in mind. I left the house there today at 7. And I'm hoping I'll be in by past actually. It says here I will, but I can't always believe that he's orange at the moment, in 13 minutes. But I left at 7:30, and I didn't get in till 9:15. So yeah, there's quite a big difference there, isn't there? I don't know if I should blame Google Maps for getting it completely wrong. On that occasion, it told me 30 minutes, and it was an hour and whatever that is. An hour and too much. I don't know why I'm laughing about it. It's awful, isn't it? It's dreadful. Dreadful commute. I'm sure there's people out there, I mean there always is, isn't there? People out there doing much bigger, longer commute, going for hours, every day. Getting up at 2 a.m. and all the rest of it, yeah. Well, that's not me anyway. I have to say no job's worth that. But anyhow, having more coffee. This job certainly isn't. But so yeah, I've got a weekend free coming up. I don't know what I'm going to do with it actually. I haven't got any ideas at the moment. I could do nothing. I could sort this car out, I suppose. I need to clear the counter to get rid of the steering wheel lock. I need to cut a wire on the boot lock. I could get the old meter on it actually and see which wire it is. I'll definitely do that, I think. Get rid of that noise, that ding. Hopefully get rid of that noise anyway. So basically the problem with the boot lid, trunk lid, is that there's a short in the wiring loom. So it's like it's constantly wanting to open the boot. So when I shut the boot, it stays open. So as a temporary measure, I just disconnected the electronics. Mechanically, it's still attached, so I can use the key, which is fine, so I don't open and close it. The problem is now it thinks the boot's open all the time. It also thinks the number plate lights aren't working. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the wire that is obviously shorted out. And then that'll mean I can't use the key fob or the switch in the car to open the boot. I'll have to use a key. I don't care really about that. I mean, it means you have to put stuff down when you open the boot. Bloody hoo. I could take it to BMW and they'd do a big investigation on the wiring loom, probably charge me €1,000 in labour and €20 in parts or something silly. I'm not going to do that really. Not on a car that's probably not even worth €3,000 now. So, but yeah, so I'll do that this weekend. I mean, it's only Tuesday. I'm planning the weekend already. Eh? There you go. But that's not bleep again. But yeah, so free weekend. I might record some more episodes. I am getting awfully close to 200. I can almost smell episode 200. That's how close I am to it now. I haven't uploaded. I have a couple of episodes I haven't uploaded yet, and I think I'll be around the 190 mark. I don't know if 200's that relevant really. It's a nice round number. Doesn't seem long enough since I did 100 actually. But yeah, so getting very close now. Yeah, so I might do that this weekend. That'd be nice. I really need to find something to do in my downtime. There's one thing I'm going to do in November. There's a rumour that it's my birthday in November. I'm not going to say how old I am. You probably can guess if you've listened to any of the other episodes. But I begin in November, which makes me a Scorpio. It's going to be my birthday, so I thought I might treat myself in November. And basically what's happening is you might have heard of a pharaoh, Tutankhamun. He's got a very famous gold like mask thing that's in Egypt, in Cairo, on display. Well, that's not going to go anywhere. That's not going to leave Egypt. But the rest of his gear is on a tour. It's the final tour. This has been touted the last time it'll be seen outside of Egypt. Now I'm not sure how they can say that, because I'm sure they can do it again in a few more years' time. There might be in the blurb somewhere exactly why that is, which I didn't bother reading all the way down. I'm a very busy guy. But so essentially all the artefacts, the real fascinating stuff, other than the big, whatever they call it, the mask thing, the gold thing, is on display. It's going to be, I think it's going to a few cities. It was in France recently, I think, in Paris. I don't know if it's still there, but it became, it's an interesting statistic this, it became the most visited, what would you call it? Most visited, I can't think of the word, it's early though, isn't it? Not a gallery, most visited, I'm sure you're shouting the word at me now. The most attraction, yeah, the most visited attraction in French history, which I thought was interesting. So it's coming to London anyway, which isn't too far from Ireland. I've been there a few times. So I was thinking, I think it's beginning of November it gets there, around my birthday actually. So maybe one weekend in November, hop on a cheeky little business class flight to London and have a look-see. Yeah, I'd like to see that, I think. I'm a very cultured person, you know. I might sound a little bit... I think I'm quite a cultured person. I think it'd be interesting to see. You know, I find it interesting how developed pharaohs in Egypt was in that period, and how it seemed to regress, you know, for many years. And well, this is my understanding, and it's a bit like the Roman Empire, that basically it's to do with intelligence and it's to do with brute force and unintelligence. So basically, a society grows big and intelligent, and you know, has all sorts of amazing things, and then maybe, you know, other societies could just aren't as intelligent, but have like brute force, you know, physical might. They crush them and they throw away all the technology basically, and then create another society area, whatever, you know. And it's sort of strange. It's sort of strange and awfully sad as well. But I mean, you know, the Roman Empire is a good example, I think, where, you know, they sort of got a bit lazy, I think. You know, they're opulent and all the rest of it. Maybe they lost the desire to keep conquering things. They've done pretty much everywhere, haven't they? You know, and then it's easy to see how these things can implode, and yeah. But it's a, you know, I often talk about the Kythera device. I think it's named after a place, which is like a computer from, I suppose, the Roman times, really. It was on a Roman ship that was sunk. I don't know what the sea was, whether it was the Aegean Sea, I'm not sure. I could look it up, I'm not going to. But basically this device was found in a shipwreck. And for years, you know, it wasn't really looked at, I think for 30 years. And eventually they had a look at it. It's like a mini computer for predicting the positions of the stars and things like that. And there's some evidence that maybe, or some school of thought, it could have been for deciding when to have, like, you know, the Olympic Games, or the equivalent of the modern day Olympic Games. You know how it's cyclic and they have it every so often. And it could have been used for that, but it was a computer anyway. But what was interesting is it was a Greek device, I think, that was found on a Roman ship. And essentially what had happened is the Romans had sacked a Greek town, completely destroyed, took away anything that was shiny, put it on a boat, and during a storm or whatever, the boat sank. But it's interesting that probably the Romans had never a clue what it was. It's just a little shiny, you know, novelty thing that ended up at the bottom of the sea and was eventually found, you know, a good while later. And I think it's that element of, you know, brute force, you know, book burning, you know, ransacking cities. Yeah, it's an interesting cycle, and it's worrying that, you know, there is that cyclic nature, and it does make you wonder if it's going to happen again. That, you know, someone's going to press the button on a weapon, completely obliterate civilization, nearly, you know, or certainly a part of it. I mean, it's different now. We're a global society. In those days, you know, there was different areas of the globe were quite separate, how they developed, you know. But awfully sad how, you know, a lot of the Egyptian stuff disappeared. Same way a lot of the Greek stuff disappeared. The same way a lot of the Roman stuff disappeared. I mean, underfloor heating. Wow, that was ahead of its time, wasn't it? Aqueducts, yeah, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of it was destroyed, you know, and yeah, crazy, isn't it? But there's an interesting cycle to that. And it's very sad that ultimately brute force and ignorance, yeah, I mean, it's an element of maybe they don't understand what they're doing. Less intelligent people, but they're much more forceful, yeah. It's hard to, what's the word, if you're someone intelligent, I know this from school, I suppose, when you're bullied. Just because you're super intelligent doesn't mean you can beat the bully, not when he's got a big fist. And he's not open to intelligent persuasion and conversation. Yeah, so there's definitely a cyclic nature, and it's very interesting. So hopefully having my birthday at the beginning of November, I'll be maybe nipping over to the UK. I did get a little bit worried afterwards, after thinking I was going to plan all this, realising that Brexit was the end of October. And I thought to myself, well, the passport I have will get me in all right. I'm just not sure if it'll get me out again. That would be painful now. So I'll have to assess the situation on the 1st of November before I do anything too rash. But I don't know what's going to happen, and that's more scary than anything around Brexit and the border and everything else. So yeah, it's awful going on about it. What a waste of everybody's time and efforts, isn't it? You know, how did we get here? Like, you know, so I'm in the traffic still. I think the 13 minutes was a little bit what's the word? Optimistic, yeah. So already in a queue of cars now. Haven't even got to the Central Mental Hospital yet. I've passed the William Dargan Bridge, and you know, there's always a queue of cars up there because it's quite a complex set of traffic lights, and it's really badly organised as well, if you ask me. But anyway, not that I'm an expert, but I don't know the way I go across it. I'm always, you know, delayed. But now there's just a continuous stream of cars, and it looks like maybe it gets better after the Central Mental Hospital, according to the computer. But this wasn't red before, so this is a dynamic environment. It's changing, I suppose. Just a little bit annoyed that, you know, Google Maps, you know, it can't cope with this, can it? I mean, it told me I was going to be in work for 7:24. It's now saying 7:28. It's saying 6 minutes. So, I mean, it's a little bit unfair now to keep changing your tune, you know. But anyway, so I'm just alongside the Central Mental Hospital now. There's a bus there. And ironically, he's not slowing us down, stopping at bus stops, because he's catching up the traffic again once he sets off. So, yeah. So yeah, we're not faster than the bus today, then. But I don't mind buses. I mean, imagine if all those people had a car each. Oh, you imagine the traffic. It'd be terrible. Having more coffee. So stopped again, so there'll be that little alarm noise when I set off again. I suppose it's quite high pitched listening to that. It's not that offensive, really. With a deeper pitch, it'd be more, you know, just at the gates of the Central Mental Hospital. They're still shut. Oh no, one of them's shut, sorry, one's open. They're as tall as the wall. I suppose there must be some sort of protected structure, but they look horrible. I'm in a mental hospital here. Okay, so yeah, moving again. Whee. Now it says 5 minutes, but it's already gone up 3 minutes. So originally the arrival time was 7:24. It's crept to 7:25, 7:26. Now it's 7:29. I'm not going to make the 7:30. I don't think. I'm confident there'll be a parking space waiting for me when I get there. They're not all lunatics in the company. The things you have to do to get a parking space. No, I didn't mind the walk, actually. The walk was very good. It's only a small walk, maybe a kilometre at most, to the, I call it executive car park, but the housing estate, just outside work, if you can't get a space in work. I could go on all day complaining about why you should always have a parking space available in where you work, but I mean, to be honest, exercise is good, so let's not knock it too much. I did ache. I did a good bit of walking there a few days ago. The next day I thought I'd been playing rugby. Jesus, you know, but I obviously needed it, you know. And it felt good. It does raise the spirits. It does, you know, if you're feeling a bit down and depressed. And then, you know, let's not be shy about saying when we're feeling down and depressed or lonely. I think these are things that, I don't know if society has brought us up to maybe keep it to ourselves. Be a little bit embarrassed about it, maybe. It's ironic. You know, we're very, I mean, very eager to tell people how happy we are, content we are, whatever. Less so when it's not that case, and I think we should communicate it more effectively. And yeah, so you know, the other occasion there last week I felt a bit down, and there's all sorts of, sometimes things just triggers, I think, for these sorts of things. I'm very lucky. I don't have anything you'd call a clinical depression, and I have suffered from depression and anxiety and deep, dark sadness and all the rest of it. But that's some of it. So it's all part of life, really. You know, you're not going to go through life all happy all the time. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Sometimes you only know when you're happy because how sad you can be. So yeah. So a bit down, a bit lonely at times that last week, but that walk now really helped to lift the spirits, and you feel a lot better. And I definitely recommend a bit of exercise. be careful because once you start, you can get addictive. But it definitely does help raise the old spirits. And obviously, like I said, there's triggers to feeling down, and you know, you're never going to get rid of those. There'll be always, and it can be something or nothing. It can be something major, you know. But it's interesting that, you know, it's very easy to feel down. And what I would say is just identify it, maybe acknowledge it, maybe tell someone as well. You know, I'm not sure what they're going to say to you. They can reassure you, which is always nice. But I definitely say, if you're feeling down, do something about it. I'm not saying watch a comedy, but that's always good. I like watching comedies. That can help. But, you know, acknowledge it. Maybe think of why you feel that way. Tell someone. That's always good. And exercise now. That definitely is on the physical level. You know, go for a walk. If you're more energetic, go for a run maybe. Get a punch bag. Do a bit of boxing. Yeah. But just remember, it's okay. It's all going to be okay. It's okay to feel shit at times. Because we all feel shit at times. Alright, the car park is looking very good. All the highly paid people there haven't arrived yet. So there's lots of parking spaces. Happy Tuesday, eh? I'm going to sound a bit strange now because I'm doing some manoeuvring. The microphone is actually static. It's actually on my seatbelt as you were. That's why I normally clip it. It just seems a handy place to put it. But it means when I move my head, I can sound a little bit strange. And I know people are probably saying I sound strange anyway, but in a nice way, I hope. Okay, I'm just reversing around now. Trying not to hit anything or anybody. That would be a bad day, wouldn't it? Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to hit anybody. There's like, oh, a couple of bicycles in. Maybe they've been there all night, but I always feel that's a bit of a waste if you've a push bike and you're coming in this early. You know, you might as well drive in. I know that sounds awful, doesn't it? Might as well drive. Don't use the push bike. Okay, just coming to a halt. There, and I'm at work. Yay! I made it.